Let me tell you about two couples. Same city, same year, both just had their first baby. Couple A makes $140,000 combined. They did the math before getting pregnant. They felt ready. 6 months in, they're drowning. Credit card balance is climbing. The emergency fund is gone. One of them is already Googling how to go back to work early, while the other cries putting the baby to bed. Couple B makes $88,000 combined. Everyone told them they were crazy to have a kid at that income. 6 months in, they're tight, but stable. The bills are paid, nobody is panicking. They're tired, but they're okay. Same country, same year. One couple earns 60% more and feels infinitely more financially destroyed. Here's the question nobody is asking out loud. In 2026, who can actually afford to have a kid? And the answer is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about income, cost, and the real price of starting a family. Every few years, a report comes out that goes viral. You've probably seen the headline. It costs $300,000 to raise a child. People share it, people panic, people argue about it in comment sections, and then they completely ignore the most important part. That number is an average spread over 18 years. It smooths everything out. It hides the actual problem. Because the real financial danger of having a child in 2026 isn't the long-term total. It's the first 3 years. That's where families get destroyed. That's where the trap closes. Let's run the actual math. Take a household making $100,000 a year. Sounds solid, right? Top third of American earners. After federal and state taxes, you're taking home somewhere around $72,000. That's $6,000 a month. Now here's what year one with a baby actually looks like. Childcare. The national average for full-time infant daycare in 2026 is $1,400 a month. In any major metro, New York, Louisiana, Chicago, Austin, Seattle, you're looking at $2,000 to $3,500. Let's use the national average. That's $16,800 a year gone before you've bought a single diaper. Diapers, formula, clothing, pediatric visits, and the gear nobody warned you about. Stroller, crib, car seat, monitor. Average first-year baby costs outside of childcare run another $10,000 to $15,000. And that's if nothing goes wrong. Healthcare. If you're on employer insurance, having a baby typically triggers $3,000 to $8,000 in out-of-pocket costs, depending on your deductible and whether there are any complications. The C-section rate in America is 32%. Complications aren't rare, they're expected. And then there's the income hit. In a country with no federally mandated paid parental leave, 1 in 4 American women return to work within 2 weeks of giving birth. Not because they want to, but because they have no choice. The ones who do take longer leave often do it unpaid. A 12-week unpaid maternity leave on a $60,000 salary costs the household $13,800 in lost income. So let's add this up conservatively. Childcare, $16,800. Baby essentials, $12,000. Healthcare, $5,000. Lost income from leave, $7,000. You're at $40,800 in the first year on a $72,000 take-home. That's 57% of your net income in year one alone. And you still have rent or a mortgage, a car payment, student loans, groceries, utilities, the rest of a life. Now here's where it gets really dark. That $140,000 couple from the beginning, they bought a house sized for 2 incomes. They took on car payments sized for 2 incomes. Their fixed monthly costs, mortgage, cars, insurance, subscriptions, are $5,800 a month. On paper, 2 incomes cover it easily. Then the baby arrives, and one partner cuts back to part-time. Suddenly, the income drops from $140,000 to $95,000. Take-home goes from around $8,800 a month to about $6,200. But the fixed costs didn't change. The mortgage didn't get smaller, the cars didn't get cheaper, the house doesn't know there's a baby in it. They're underwater by $1,400 a month. Every month. And it's compounding. This is what Elizabeth Warren called the 2-income trap, and it hits hardest the moment a baby enters the picture. Because the baby is the event that forces one income to shrink or disappear, right at the exact moment costs are spiking. The $88,000 couple? They bought a house on 1 income. Their fixed costs were $2,900 a month. When the baby came and one partner went part-time, the income dropped, but they didn't drown. They were built for this. It's not about how much you make, it's about what you built around what you make. So, who can actually afford to have kids in 2026? Not the couple with the highest income, the couple with the most margin. Margin means your fixed costs, the non-negotiables, are low enough that one income alone can cover them. It means you have 6 months of expenses and savings before the baby arrives, not 6 weeks. It means your healthcare plan has a deductible you can actually pay without a credit card. Here's the honest checklist before having a child in 2026. Can you cover all fixed monthly expenses on one income alone? If not, you're building on a fault line. Do you have $20,000 to $30,000 in accessible savings? Not retirement accounts, actual liquid cash, because between the lost income, the medical bills, and the first-year costs, that money will move. Have you priced out childcare in your specific city? Not the national average, your city. In San Francisco, infant daycare averages $2,800 a month. That number should be in your budget before the pregnancy test is positive. And finally, do you have a plan if one partner can't work for 3 to 6 months? Not wishes. An actual plan. Savings, family support, a partner's income that covers the essentials alone. If you can check all 4 boxes, you're in a position to absorb a baby without it becoming a financial emergency. If you can't, that's not a verdict on whether you should have children. That's a roadmap for what to build first. Here's what the headline misses when it says $300,000 to raise a child. That number is survivable over 18 years. What families can't survive is being blindsided by $40,000 in year 1 when their fixed costs were already maxed out. The couples who thrive after having a baby aren't the highest earners. They're the ones who treated their second income as savings before the baby arrived, kept their fixed costs low enough that one income could carry the weight, and built the margin to absorb the shock. A baby doesn't break your finances. A baby reveals exactly how much margin you had to begin with. If this video made you look at your own numbers differently, hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. And subscribe, because next we're going into the exact saving strategy to actually get there before the due date. The math is real. So is the plan.